Okay, so why is more than half of the people not on camera? This is mock interview. Everybody should be on cam.
Sir, I'm at workplace, so it's tough
Who,
to join.
who is that?
It's Yugandhar.
Ogandar. Okay, okay. You are in D or E? I think you
I
are in
mean,
workplace here in E. Okay, E, there is an exemption. This is mock interview. So we'll discuss both technical and non-technical because I tried one session for non-technical and another session for technical. Non-technical people are attending, technical hardly 1 or 2 people are attending. Okay, so now over to you. Do you guys have any specific questions or answers you want my help with, or shall I go with my own agenda?
Sir, yeah, go on, Jyoti.
Yeah. Sir, in my resume, you mentioned one point, so I didn't understand that point. If it is possible, can you please explain?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, that is precisely the intention of this call. Share your screen and show me.
Yes, sir. Are you able to see my screen, sir?
Yeah, go ahead.
This point, sir, the red one, that red color, performed data profiling using Teradata tooling and ad hoc system query languages to validate data analysis. So I didn't understand that question. What is the meaning of that point and how to explain?
Yeah. So first of all, what we need to do is highlight the word data profiling and mark it yellow. Okay, that is one word you need to study. Teradata. Highlight Teradata. Yeah, that's it. I think ad hoc. So what you need to understand is first you need to understand what is a data profiling.
Okay.
Okay, so what is your understanding about data profiling?
Sir, I don't know.
You don't know? So first of all, the way how you have to approach is first you have to understand what is a data profiling. Data profiling is nothing but what is meant by your WhatsApp profile. WhatsApp profile is nothing but it contains your name, your picture, your caption. Like, for example, take the case of LinkedIn profile, your picture, your designation, what companies you have worked in the past, what education you have. The profile is a kind of a meta information about yourself.
Okay.
Same is the case with data profiling. Data profiling means some information about the data.
Data. Okay.
Okay. So generally this is done in the healthcare industry. Even for other industries also they do. So they take raw data and first they do the data cleaning. So they clean all the data, remove all the junk, normalize all the data and everything. There are several steps that are done as a part of data cleaning. And once the data cleaning is done, then they do data profiling.
Okay.
So they add some additional information. This data is about male people in Brampton. This data is about children below 5 years in Mississauga. So that kind of information they add. And to do the data profiling, a Teradata tool has been used.
Okay, so that is separate tool we have to use for data profiling. Am I right,
Data
sir?
profiling. All you need to do is just understand what the Teradata tool is about. And if they ask in the interview by any chance, what is this Teradata and all, you can just say, I too did not use that tool much, but what we used to do is we just input the data in the tool and we used to get the updated data. That's it.
Okay.
And then on top of the data, which is already profiled, you are writing some queries. For example, let's say if the data is profiled as a data with 5-year male kids in Mississauga born between so-and-so date. If that is what the data profile says, then you have to validate it, isn't it? Once the profiling is done. How do you validate? You write some queries. Select star from people data where age is less than more than 5.
Okay.
If it gives what is the output, expected output?
More than 5, who are there, their information will come.
No, but the data profiled is less than 5. The data profiling, what they have done is, this data is the data of the male kids who are less than 5 years of age in the area of Mississauga. That is the profile data. Now you have to validate that. So what queries will you write?
Select a star from that particular table and males less than 5. Will take where condition, sir.
Where age is less than 5 means it
Less
should.
than.
But how do you verify? If you give more than 5, then nothing should come.
Okay. No, got it, sir. Okay.
Got it, right? That is how you have to validate your data. That's called as validating data analysis.
Validating data analysis. Okay. Is it comes under data engineer role, sir, or data analyst role?
Data profiling is a data engineering. Validating data is a data analysis.
Data analysis.
Okay. Yeah, Teradata is a data engineering tool.
Okay.
So this overall sentence is more of a DE.
Okay.
Okay.
Got it.
Okay, good.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Who else has any questions like this? I would love to answer these kind of questions. Susila, you are talking something?
Sir, in one interview, they asked, what is the situation you faced? You solved a problem. So I told them that there were some issues with the incoming data from the client that I solved, sir. So, but I was not satisfied with the answer. If they give what is the difficult situation you solved. So I want to know, how do we answer these type of questions?
Tell me again, what is that?
What's the situation where you faced a problem and you solved it?
What is the situation where you faced a problem?
Yes, sir.
And you solved it?
Yes.
So in your job, right?
Yes, sir, in data engineering.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, you can pick up so many scenarios like we discussed in length so many times. Since yours is a data, you are a data DADA or DEDA?
DEDA.
DEDA. So if you are a DEDA, then you can say that what is the problem you faced? Okay, so you can pick up one problem like you have done the data, let's say you have done the data cleaning. Okay, but when the data scientist has taken the data, the data was not cleaned enough. You forgot to do some few steps into that, or the data pipeline was not running as expected. So we are losing a lot of time, and we had very less time to fix this issue. So I had to work over the long weekend to fix this and give the data on time to data scientist by the time he comes in the morning. So you're saying you're creating a problem and you have fixed it. Take any situation in your respective jobs and you create your own problem yourself and you try to showcase how you solve that problem through your behavioral skills. Like I worked overtime, I have taken the work of help of a senior, and I have requested or I have pre-alerted the stakeholders to get additional time. So many things you can do. Did you understand?
Yes, sir. But in YouTube,
the story is not going to be the same for everybody. For everybody, the story is going to be the different. But overall, what you need to do is to answer this question, you have to create a problem in your own project and you have to give a solution how you overcame that problem. That way you will showcase that you are ready to correct your problem and you have very good behavioral skills.
Okay.
Understood?
Yes, sir.
Okay, next. No
Sir.
questions.
So Abhishek here, sir. So there's a point in my resume which says that worked on documenting databases and data flow processes. So I don't know how to document that. Like, can you throw a light on that?
Okay, can you share your screen and show me the point?
Yes, sir. So it says disabled screen sharing for me, sir.
Okay, so I have to, you are Abhishek now.
So I'm assuming you can see my screen, sir?
Yeah.
Yes. So this point, sir.
Okay, so worked on documenting databases, data process flows, and maintaining data dictionaries.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I used to do this in CIBC, not
Okay.
CIBC, BMO, when I was working as a database DevOps person. So generally, this is a very simple task. What we do is, for example, in your project, so organizations like banks, they have like 5,000, 6,000 databases. Okay,
Right.
when I used to work in BMO, like there used to be 5,000 databases.
Okay.
But each project works on some 5 or 6 databases generally, because each project is split up and they work independently. For example, you are working in a project where there are some 15 databases. So, and you are doing some small operations on each one of the databases. So what do? You go to Confluence and you create some database information. Okay. What is the name of, what is the IP of this database? What is the name of this database server? What is the name of the database? What is the primary key, etc. You give some information about the databases, or what is the login information of the data, what is the username. You won't put passwords in Confluence, but
Right.
what username, what if there is a custom port, what port. So you'll put that information so that it is very easy for everybody to, follow.
Right.
That is number one. You will also write the data process flows. Like data process flows are generally the ER diagrams.
The ER diagrams, okay. Sir.
Entity relationship diagrams or DFDs, data flow diagrams.
Okay.
ER diagrams are more for database design, whereas DFD, data flow diagrams, are more for database flows.
Okay.
Okay, and maintaining data dictionaries. Maintaining data dictionary is nothing but a dictionary about a data. For example, if a flag 0 means this, flag 1 means this, flag 2 means this. You see, if you go to bank,
right,
will put some they put that information 9. 9 means add account. Then they will type 7. 7 means update the name in the account. So
right.
all this information is called as data dictionary.
So, okay. Is there a specific tool that we do, like you said, Confluence? Like, what are the other tools that companies use to document? Is it Microsoft Word or something?
No, not Word. If it is Word, then only you will be able to see it. Others will not be able to see it.
Yeah, I mean, okay.
If it is Confluence, then everybody can see it.
Right.
If it is some companies use SharePoint.
SharePoint. Yeah.
Some companies draw data flow diagrams using Visio.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Some companies draw ER diagrams using what is called, there is some data frog or something. I forgot the name.
Okay.
Yeah, there are so many tools to do that. All you need to do is just highlight the word data process flows and highlight the word data dictionaries. Okay, so what you need to do is go to Google. I think you shared only the doc file. You have to go to Google and type what is a data dictionary and study about that.
Okay, sir. Yeah.
Example of a data dictionary, study about that.
Okay.
And type how to draw data flow process, data process flows. Study about that.
Okay, sir.
Then practice doing a data process flow diagram for one use case.
Okay.
don't take, when we are practicing, we always take student data, if you tell this kind of a solutions in the interview, then they will definitely think that you did not really work on any project.
Gotcha, sir. Yeah.
Library management system, inventory management system, student management system. These are the examples which generally they teach in Udemy, because that is where you learn. But when you go to the interview, you should talk about, let's take the case of some transactional data or some customer information or some credit data or some market data. You have to talk in the real data sense. This is where people can easily make out whether you have genuine experience or a fake experience.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Gotcha.
Then you will come back to me, sir, I have answered each and every question, but I don't know why this fellow did not ask me in the interview. These are the problems which we unknowingly, create for ourselves.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Yeah, you can stop sharing. Next.
Sir, I have a question. Yeah, I got a call from recruiters from Ascent, and they were like telling me they gone through my profile in Monster, and they were like, it's a fresh graduate role. So their client is Citibank. So they said that we'll give 10 weeks training prior to put in the role, because that's the client's requirement and all.
What is the name of the agency?
Ascend.
Okay.
Yeah. So they said that from 4th week you'll get your pay minimum wage after started training. So I said that I will get back to you. Could you please send me the details and all? Yeah, they send all the details. If you want, I will share the screen.
Yeah, it is similar to, I think, ADM consulting or something like that.
Okay.
See, these kind of structures, what happens is, number one, they only pay minimum wage for 1 to 2 years. I think for 1 year, they pay minimum wage, or 6 months, they pay minimum wage, and then they increase it to $30. And then they increase it to $45 like that. And there will be a contract for
2 years.
2 to 3 years. No, don't go for those.
Okay.
If they ask to attend interview, you can attend interview for the sake of interview experience.
Okay.
But we are not going to pursue those kind of an opportunities, because that is not what this whole program is all about. We are planning to get a job after spending like 4 to 5 months of a time with a very good pay and a full-time permanent job, right? So we don't want to again end up in locking under a contract for 2 years. If you break the contract, what happens is they charge you like $30,000 to $40,000.
Yeah, they told me they will be charging 20,000. Yes.
Yeah, 20,000. So that is all a complicated structure.
Okay.
And I think currently some FDM consulting also is doing the same way. And there are so many, victims.
Okay.
Because the job search is always a dynamic. Suddenly you wanted to go to India for a personal emergency, then you have to break the contract.
Yeah.
Yeah, so those are all problems. That's not what we are going to achieve. For interview experience, you go ahead and attend those interviews.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Sir, I have a question.
Yeah.
So in an interview which I've attended recently, so they asked me about do you build KPIs and reportings? I said yes.
What is that? What is that?
Do you build in visualization? Do you do KPIs and reportings? Monthly reportings? I said yes. I do that. I can do that in Power BI and Tableau as well. Yes. So he asked me, do you define KPI? No, I don't set any KPIs. I just do visualization as per my team lead said. So what is defining KPI? I don't know about it. Can you please explain if anyone asks me in detail about this so that I can answer them?
Okay. Actually, from the next Friday call, we are coming up with KPIs for all the consultancy candidates.
So I'm the first one to ask this question.
So who defines the KPIs? Generally, the business head defines the KPIs because he is the one who wants to see how the business is performing, right? For example, I'm trying to build a KPI with a list of all, not list, a graph showing the trend of the leads on a day-to-day basis. That is one KPI, the leads trend. Another trend can be the list of all people who are getting less than 3 leads per week. Okay, so I need a KPI which shows which day of the week people are getting more leads and which day of the week people are getting less leads. So KPIs are generally defined by the business head. And the KPIs are implemented by the developer. So the answer for you is you have answered it right. So you can say, yes, I build dashboards for KPIs. Do you define KPIs? No, I don't define KPIs. KPIs are provided to me by our stakeholders. That is the answer that you should tell me. Tell the interviewer.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. So since you guys are all data analysts, okay, so let's do some role play. So now for our consultancy, let's say Friday call. We wanted to review the performance of marketing. So in marketing, who are the stakeholders? The marketing team is stakeholders because they are the one who does all the postings. And the other stakeholders are the candidates who are undergoing marketing, where they are getting leads and they are attending interviews. Now, I need 10 KPIs. Okay. Tell me the KPI and tell me what chart will you use to display that KPI in Power BI or Tableau.
So the first thing I would do is like...
okay, Abhishek, number 1 KPI, okay.
Yeah, the first thing I would do is like I'll try to create a graph which shows my LinkedIn profile hits on coming weeks, like previous weeks. So I would like to do that and see which month has profile more hits and which week did not hit.
You took wrong data. The data you have to take is number of posts done, number of leads generated,
yes,
number of interviews attended,
yes,
number of second round interviews attended, number of offers received. This is the data you have to work on. You took wrong data.
Right.
Yeah, Roshni, tell me KPI number 1.
sir, I told that total number of posting and leads. So just total number of leads for every candidate's total number of posting, total number of leads, and the introductory round or screening round, how much introductory screen round, first take round, second take round.
But that doesn't fit into 1 KPI, no?
So only one, sir?
I want you to tell only 1 KPI. Pick up 1 KPI and tell me which chart will you use.
So maybe the number of leads, sir, for this.
I'll tell you one example. KPI number 1. Lead conversion rate. Lead conversion rate is 1 KPI.
Yes.
What are the number of leads that have, what are the number of, lead conversion rate will change from perspective to perspective.
Okay, sir.
I'm now talking from the resume marketing team perspective. For
okay,
resume
sir, I got
marketing
it
team
now.
perspective, the lead conversion rate is number of jobs posted, number of leads come by number of jobs posted.
Yes, sir. Okay, I got it. So I think the first will be where lead conversion rate. That will be,
I already told that. Pick up another one.
Okay, another one will be the introductory round. Out of how much leads you got, introductory number of introduction round versus leads,
Okay,
like
lead conversion round for candidates.
yeah.
Number of leads
it will be
generated.
introductory round conversion from leads to introductory rounds conversion.
Yeah.
So it will be
Yeah.
introductory round out of leads. And again, we can go for, first take round out of total introductory round for conversion of introduction.
Which chart will you use?
Sorry, sir?
Which chart?
So if it is I'm doing in the percentage, sir, I prefer, do not chart or pie chart. I like to, because it is in the proportion I'm doing, or otherwise we can do in the form of bar chart also.
Bar chart.
Percentage, I think I like to do it in the case of do not chart or pie chart. I like to go.
Both are wrong.
Okay, sir, suggest me.
Bar chart, see, you have to understand where you have to use which chart. Pie chart. How will you use pie chart here? Tell me. Pie chart is something where the entire data covers 100%. And this data is, for example, for pie chart, we can use to find out how many are relevant and how many are irrelevant, how many are from Canada, how many are from US.
Okay.
But not for conversion. Isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Conversion, what we can do, we can create a line graph. Okay. Number of leads getting posted and number of conversions for each, not leads, number of leads that are getting generated every day and number of conversions that are happening on an everyday or weekly basis. So we can use a line graph which shows two lines.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. So you should really know which graph to use when.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Some more KPIs.
Thank you, sir.
Irrelevant leads also, sir.
I already told that.
KPI based on attendance, I would use speedometer for that visualization.
What speed will you show?
Number of attendance. For that, so team leads will count a number of attendance also for how many mock interviews did you attend.
For which task? Mock interviews? Or
yes, for mock interviews.
Maybe
both, sir, I could use.
Let's say you are creating a KPI to track the attendance of the people for mock interviews.
Yes, I would use speedometer visualization for that.
So speedometer and visualization. I don't know. I don't know if speedometer task can be used for. Oh, attendance is like 10%, 20% like that. Yeah, that is
yes,
possible.
sir. The speedometer, the arrow will show at which level I am.
Yeah, that is possible. One last KPI.
Ram sir, can I have a try?
Yeah, give it a try.
Yes, so we can create a KPI average time for landing a job. So we can create a KPI for that, like the time the person is registered with the NCPL, and like so we can create a like a line chart.
So I'll show you some of the dashboards I have created. Let me show you. I think some of the people might have already seen, but let me show you for everybody's sake. So this is the KPI that we have, dashboard, the data analysis dashboard we have created. So our success rate is 84.24. 112 people got the jobs recently. And the average time it takes to get a job is 171 days, roughly about close to 6 months. The average package is 77,800. Currently, there are 130 people getting mentored. Okay, so this is the trend. 2019, 10 people got jobs, 20 people got jobs, 21, 30 people, 22, 45 people, 23, already 7 people got the jobs. Okay, this is one factor. For example, now let's take the case of whole number of people who signed up. Okay, so 1930 people signed up, 24 people signed up, 67, 22, 186, 23, already 22 people got signed up. And the success rate for all the people who signed up is 72%, which includes both the people who absconded or who got terminated. So that's why the rate comes lesser. So total 330 people got total signed up, and the time it takes, including people who got the jobs and who absconded and who got terminated. It is 144 days. So 77 salary. Okay, now if we see what technologies are most popular, you see 28 people signed up for BA, 1 people for big data, 19 people for AWS cloud, 39 for Azure cloud, 9 for cybersecurity, 118 for DA, DE, DSML, 44 for DevOps, like that. Okay, in that if we see how many are from Canada, so we have this data. Okay, we can also see how many are students, immigration, for example. Okay, so if you see out of all the people who signed up, how many are students, how many are immigrants, how many are citizens? You see majority of them are students and some are immigrants. Okay, so earlier in 2019, we used to have more students and less immigrants, but in 2022, we have more, the immigrants' strength has drastically increased. So that is a decision I can make. Oh, maybe I should concentrate more on immigrants as well. And we can also see how many of them are freshers and how many are experienced. You see here in 19, 24 are freshers, 6 are experienced, 19 freshers, 20, 50. And in 22, 61 are experienced and 121 are 2023. We have more experienced folks joining. So these are some of the KPIs which I defined. This is more of a sales data, right? So when it comes to the other data, we are also building dashboards like this, which will come in the future thing. So you guys understand what are KPIs and how do we define it? Okay.
One thing I would like to add, you can do one thing. We have text data and audio data of the interviews recording, and so what will there is a system that and question answered, which will match. Okay, this was the question asked, and the candidate said this. Was it relevant, and how much it's relevant? So rather than going through each recording, the model will tell that okay, this is the.
So I need to take help from folks like you in doing the, you know, yeah, that's actually a very good idea.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Okay, so next one. Next question.
Sir, as data analyst, we are in pre-marketing and end of our training phase. So I was watching a video, they say that we should create some project for our Tableau public profile or something for our GitHub or some projects in Power BI to write in, give the links in our resume so the recruiters can have a look. So how, is this helpful?
Yeah, that is actually helpful. It is always a good idea to, whatever you do, publish your code in GitHub. Okay, put that GitHub profile in your resume. That is what every recruiter expects. Okay. But what is the problem? Recently, Abhishek was actually fighting with his team lead. Why did you remove my GitHub profile? Dash, dash, dash. So what happened is, I have opened his resume. I have, opened his GitHub link. I liked and fantastic resume. And then I thought that, okay, this guy seems to be very knowledgeable, seems to be the guy I'm looking for. Then I opened his GitHub profile. In his GitHub profile, there are some projects like Hello Test, data analysis test, some test data.
I'm not
There are
sure.
1 or 2 genuine projects, but there are also some test projects. What happens is, if recruiters or the interviewers look at your GitHub profile with just some test stuff, they might not get a good impression on your profile. They might be thinking maybe you're practicing something. They might be thinking maybe you're still in a learning phase or something like that. That's why unless and until you have to maintain your GitHub profile in a very sophisticated way, put some serious projects. Okay, instead of forking a repo, what you can do is you can clone a repo, download all that code, okay, into your local machine. Okay, take some of the code snippets and put it in another folder. Okay, map your GitHub to that kind of a profile, map it to that code. Let me mute him. So that way it looks like a very big genuine project done. You understood what I'm saying?
Yeah, the thing is like, okay, let's say I'll maintain a GitHub profile. The problem is getting where to get the data for those projects.
Oh, GitHub is full of free repos like that. So many. If you go to GitHub, and then maybe we can give it a try. Let me see.
Yeah. Because us non-IT people, like non-IT background people, don't have much idea about these tools, like how the GitHub works, and that's why I'm not very familiar with this.
So let's take the case of, I don't know, I forgot my GitHub. This is Abhishek profile. Yeah, we'll see Abhishek's. So Abhishek has this. See, repository, Abhishek Pamala Party. How can this be a repository? You tell me.
So that one, okay. I have to,
because
there was a
default
repo that GitHub gave me. I did not delete that one.
Yeah, well, when they see this, then they will think that this guy doesn't seem to know how to name the repos also. This is a very good one. This is a very good one, a data cleaning or motor free code camp. That's okay. Azure for everyone samples, this is not good. Okay, portfolio projects. Let us see what portfolio projects you have. You have skip the dishes, web scraping, which is okay. But again, they have very less 1 or 2 files. You see here, only 1 file. And you to here 2 files. That again doesn't give good impression. So that's why what we can do is, let me see. Yeah, I think I have.
Probably I have to give a little bit of README to every.
Exactly, there should be README. There should be.
Yeah. I have to kind of do a little bit tweaking to my GitHub. So yeah,
that's what I'm showing here. How to do click tweaking and all. Okay, let me see what I have. This. Where are my? So CDM Tech IFF student. Under CDM Tech, I have 3 projects, and TF code build, Terraform code build. This is one project, and CI/CD Lambda app. This is another project. These look more or less genuine, even though not completely DevOps challenge, static website. Okay, we should avoid some repositories like test. This is not a good practice. Okay, so now coming back to your question on how to search. So then what we can do is, okay, go to GitHub, find a repository, maybe like data in this repositories. Code spaces. Okay. Okay, data engineering camp, cookbook, awesome data engineering. Okay, data engineering projects. Okay, so you can put Audacity data engineering projects, possibly there might be. So these look some good project. So what you can do is you can go and download the code. Don't fork it, because if you fork it, then it will show who is the author. So instead of forking it, you will download the code, and then I don't have the Git repository configured in my system. So you create a Git project in your Git repo. Visual Studio Code, I think I have, let me see if I have Visual Studio Code. I don't have Visual Studio Code. I don't have Visual Studio Code. So then use some, I mean, I'm talking about not really doing the project, but I'm talking about creating some fake GitHub projects to show your GitHub profile as a full-blown profile. And you have to regularly check in, check out, and do some activity in that project. So that is a huge exercise. That's why we don't generally encourage people to do it. If you don't put anything, then people don't expect anything. But if you put something, then it is going to be, it has to be very perfect.
So Ram sir, after downloading the code from the GitHub, what are the next steps? Like
next steps is you have to configure your Git profile in your local machine.
Okay.
You have to create your own empty project in GitHub.
Mm-hmm.
Then you copy and paste this code into your folder as if it's written by you.
Okay.
Then you commit this code to your GitHub profile. Then it will show as if this code is written by you, unless that code has any meta tags inside.
Yeah, but if they ask question about that code in the interview,
nobody will ask. See, GitHub profile is just to give an idea on, oh yeah, this guy seems to have done something. This guy seems to be very technical, geeky person. It is only to give that impression.
Okay. Okay.
For example, if you go to my Linktree, I don't know if any of you, I put my Linktree profile in my WhatsApp profile. If you go to my Linktree profile, it will show all my social media channels, my website, my so many other links. People are not going to ask, why did you post this on Twitter? Why did you post this on so and so? No, they'll just get a good impression. Okay, this guy seems to be very organized. He seems to be very active in social media. So that is the impression that people get, and that is the impression that it gives overall. Right? So that is the whole purpose of a GitHub profile. So now you know, Abhishek, why I removed that GitHub link.
Sir, there are other projects also, but I did not create a folder for that. I did a Python correlation project completely by taking the data of IMDb TV shows.
You make your GitHub profile very professional, then we can add it.
But now that it's more of focus to data engineering, I don't know if data analysis is going to impress recruiters.
No, that is still okay. As I told you, what is inside, nobody cares.
Right.
What they care about is whether you have regular commits or not, whether the project has good number of files or not, whether you're active in GitHub in contributing to the open source community or not. That's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it, sir. I basically created those projects to show the recruiters that this guy can work with different kind of SQL queries and Python thing, but I have to make it more presentable, like you said. Yes, sir, I'll do that.
I have to make it very presentable and professional. As soon as the recruit, that is how recruiters qualify, you know. Right. Recruiters are more of they fell for the superficial stuff.
Right, like over the top extravagant.
Done. Seems like this guy has some content. Right. Okay, this resume also has some portfolio. Oh, seems like this guy is very active in the code community. Right. Okay, then they open it. Right. After it is the impression till now. Now when they open it, if there is nothing inside, then the impression goes away.
Right.
That's the problem.
Got it, sir.
Understood, right? So that's how earlier for the previous consultancy candidates, we used to encourage them to have their own website also. You know, we used to create an email ID like some, aburu@jyoti.com. Okay, so everybody used to have their own email ID with their name. Do you know?
Okay.
I don't know if you guys are aware of it.
My seniors did not tell me about this feature in NCPL.
But now people were recruiters used to ask, how come each one of you has your own personal domain? Then we created CanMail domain. Then recruiters started asking, how come all of you has CanMail domain? So we're also learning all from our activities. It's always a continuous improvement.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Next one. Okay, now I'll pick up people to ask questions. Okay. Arjot. I'm not able to hear. Okay, meanwhile, Josie.
Yes, sir. Can you recommend some certifications for data analyst people?
For data analyst, the recommended certifications are obviously DP if it is AWS, or if it is Azure, then DP 900 is a must. Then you can become, I don't remember the name, but you can become a certified Azure certified Power BI developer.
Yeah, PL 300.
Yeah, PL 300. I don't remember the numbers, but those are ones. And there is a certification not from Azure, but an independent certification from Tableau.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that is one thing that you can. There is also, I think Khushbu has written one certification on SQL. So that is also one certification you can write. Those are not mandatory, but if you do those certifications, it will increase your confidence levels exponentially.
Yeah.
Next.
Hi, sir. I have a question.
Yeah.
So I was going through Confluence interviews. There's a question that came up that I don't really know how to explain. The question is, tell me about your code development process and development test product environment.
Tell me about your code development process and test.
In development, test, and production environment.
Okay. Okay, tell me about your code development process in development, test, and production environment, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it's a very complicated question. So, okay. See, there are three environments, very simple environments. One is a development environment, and number two, a test environment, and number three, production environment. Okay. Development environment is something where you develop and you test it as a developer. Unit testing is done in the development environment. For example, you do some coding, right? You do some coding and then you will do Control F9 and then you will see what is our output, right? Isn't it? So instead of seeing in the local machine, you will see it in the development environment.
So like the development environment would be like your own computer.
Not necessarily local machine. For example, there might be some projects where your local machine might not have all the dependencies. You have your local machine can only push the code into the development environment, and the development environment will have all the dependencies, databases, all the libraries and everything to run your code. So you can see the output only on development environment. Some of the small projects you can do on the local machine also, but not every project. So in a bigger environment, you will not be able to do banks, insurance companies, and others. you will not be able to verify anything on the local machine. You just can code on the local machine, but you have to push your code, and DevOps team will set up the dev environment, test environment, and production environment, which is nothing to do with you. So you'll just push the code to your Git, and Git will automatically deploy your code to the dev environment. And that dev environment, after it is deployed, you will see the output. Okay. Now, will you develop the same on the test environment also? No, you don't do development on the test environment. So what you do, you keep continuously coding and developing in your development environment. Once you have finished everything, then the DevOps team will promote that code to the test environment. Okay. And the QA team will do the testing. For example, if you are an ETL tester, then what you do? You will go to the test environment and you run all the pipelines and everything, and you verify all that stuff as an ETL tester. Okay. And then once the QA gives a sign off, the DevOps team will promote the code to production environment. So direct customers will be able to verify that data or something. So the development process is this. This is the whole development process. So the developer will develop the whole code. All the code done by all the developers in the testing team will be integrated, and it will be pushed to the master branch in the Git repo. And then it will be deployed onto the development environment. Then the development environment will be tested by the developers. And then if all the developers are satisfied, then it is promoted to the test environment. And then the QA team will do all the testing. So if there are any issues, then again, developers have to again check out, again have to replicate the test branch onto the development branch, and then they have to do the modifications again and go and push it to the development environment, and then to the test environment. Again, any issues, again development environment, again to test environment, any more issues, again to development environment, test environment. Everything is all right, then it's promoted to the production environment. That is why DevOps is such an important activity. All this is done by DevOps. For you as a data engineer or a data analyst, this is all seamless. For you, don't understand all these things, what is going on behind when somebody is promoting and merging code to a different branch. But the answer to this question is this one, Aaron. But this is a complicated thing. But if you feel it, then you will become DevOps. So don't feel it now.
Okay,
so
thank
this
you.
question comes up when they are setting up a framework for a database.
What is that?
So this question comes up when they are setting up a framework. For example, if the development team is setting up a framework for the database, this question comes to us. So when it comes to the test environment, so the data person should go into the test environment and look if the framework will satisfy his requirements.
I did not understand your point, Vijay.
So they are asking about the codes, right, sir? So I'm just asking, so when will we be involved in that? So in the test environment, if we are involving, we don't involve
No, you
other
won't
than
involve in test environment. You are all data engineers and data analysts are always developers. Okay, your job is to create the reports and publish the reports.
Okay.
Okay, so you'll be only developing. Even
Okay.
the data engineers, they don't only develop the pipelines. They will work on with data. They will write the queries. They will publish the queries, etc., etc., etc. Okay, but it is a QA team. Like sometimes there will be reporting testers. There will be sometimes data analysts only do the testing. Okay, you will be forced to do the testing also sometimes, depending on the size of the team in your company.
Okay.
Okay, so time is up. I assume these are the questions for today. If there are any, we will again discuss in the next Monday mock interview call. Okay, bye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Bye.
Thank you, sir.
Bye.
Thank you.